been really a wonderful experience working with Ann. She's helped build a great team, achieved a lot of efficiencies, as you said, and we just want to say thank you for all you've done for us, and we're going to miss you and hope you come bring Muggins in.
Well, she'll be here.
Okay.
I have several requests for her to return during stressful times.
Yeah. Great.
So thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's always really hard to lose wonderful people, so. Okay, we have 3 sets of minutes that we'll approve today, and we have 2 new members of our board, and so we'll ask for abstentions from you all on these 3 because it was before you actually were sworn in. So I think we can take, we had present the 3 of us, so this would approve the minutes for December 6th, December 13th, and January 3rd. And I'll entertain a motion. We can do those all together, can't we? Okay. Commissioner Jackson.
Madam Chair, having reviewed the 3 sets of minutes, and I was present for all 3, so I move that we adopt all 3 sets.
I will second that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Jackson, seconded by Commissioner Holan. All in favor? Aye. Abstentions? We have 2 abstentions, Commissioner Conti and Commissioner Baker. And now it's time for our citizen comment period. Is there anyone who would like to speak on anything that is not on our agenda today? Welcome. If you could state your name and address for the record, please.
Good morning. My name is Maureen Welch, and I live on South Clarkson Street in Cherry Hills Village in District 1. And I have a son who has an intellectual disability, and it's nice to see you all here again. Happy New Year and welcome to the newly elected commissioners. I applaud your decision, along with Douglas County, to order an audit of developmental pathways for the taxpayer property tax, also known as the levy money, for intellectual disability services. Developmental Pathways is a private nonprofit 501c3 with many affiliate companies that also benefit from these monies. They had gone for over 15 years, over $50 million without any accountability of those expenditures. So thank you. I want to applaud the leadership of this commission for doing that. Developmental Pathways has $41 million in assets. They have $29 million in cash funds sitting in bank accounts right now, and only $7 million in liabilities. Yet, this organization complains at the Joint Budget Committee at the state that they don't have enough money, and they hold fundraisers regularly asking for more money. I think there's a real issue here. I encourage this commission to look at the recently passed Denver Council Bill 1071, which passed last Monday, the 9th of January. This bill opened the consideration of developmental intellectual disability funds to organizations other than the community center boards, one of which is Developmental Pathways. In Denver, people will be able to go to the county and request those monies for any program that will benefit this population that the taxpayers voted for. I encourage this commission to review the testimony during that January 9th meeting because they mentioned the conflict of interest that this board currently has. Currently, we have a commissioner sitting on the Developmental Pathways Board of Directors as a voting member. The Denver City Council recognizes this as a conflict of interest and advised that Denver City Council do not go down that road. Thank you again for voting for the audit of Developmental Pathways. Please consider similar legislation to what happened in Denver, where those funds are available to other organizations besides the community center boards, which has plenty of money, honestly, in their coffers already. Thank you again, and have a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Ms. Welch. Okay, is there anyone else? Ms. Fay.
Diana Mays, BOCC Administration Manager, reading into the record for citizen J.M. Fay, who resides at 2575 South Syracuse Way, F201, Denver, Colorado, 80231, unincorporated. Some of you know we are an equal opportunity complainer. Ms. Jackson had on her county name badge at the Kaufman meet and greet Saturday. The people she was with were illegally recording him and posted it all over the place.
Please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible.
Ms. Jackson knows, does one-on-ones, not town halls, and when she represents the county, we expect very circumspect behavior, of which this was not. We hope this gets addressed, as this is what we had to go through as an elected board member for Cunningham Fire. The congressman is gracious enough to do this all over the district, and we do not want people doing things like the zoo on Saturday to cause him to stop doing them. This is very important access to CD6 residents, of which most of us in this room are. Second, we walked through a lot of snow to get to the bus due to no snow shoveling ordinance, yet the sheriff got new uniforms, which they did not need. By the way, we would give you a D grade on shoveling the sidewalk and in front of this building this morning. Third, the Egg Department for Colorado promotes the state egg industry, of which Cottage Foods is a part of, including the Farmers Market booklet. Mountain Man was here last week, and we hope you will address why you are only allowing them to be selling here with little to no nutrition in their items, but deny the cottage food producers based here in the county that same opportunity, especially since under state law, which we are trying to change, we are not allowed to mail our items and must sell face-to-face, of which there are few places to sell in the state year-round. Fourth, yesterday was MLK Day. There were a lot of interesting quotes he said. The one that hit home for us was, an injustice done is justice denied. We do believe, after the good things we have heard about Mr. Baker and Ms. Conti, along with Ms. Jackson, Sharp, and Mr. Holland, you can do the right thing when it comes to fully dealing with 2 illegal spaces next to our garage and the Arapahoe Library District. The longer it takes, the more it costs the county. Fifth, this county holds meetings on Tuesdays, either AM or PM. Not sure why you held the swearing in on a Monday night when that could have been held on Tuesday night. A lot of people could not come due to that. Please be mindful of that in the future. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Ms. Fay. Is there anyone else, excuse me, who would like to speak? Okay, seeing no one, we'll move on. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Commissioner Conti.
So moved.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Conti,
I'll make a second.
seconded by Commissioner Baker. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that motion, the consent agenda passes. We have one general business item today, and it's intergovernmental agreement for a regional crime lab. And Sheriff Walsher, welcome.
Good morning, and thank
Good morning.
you. I had to think back at Y2K, and do we realize that's been 17 years ago?
I know.
Oh, my mind. Wow. Thanks.
I still have the little kit that they said we all needed when
and I have
the
a
world was
generator
going to
that's
blow up or something.
I have a generator that's never been started. Thanks for allowing me in here today. It's great to see everybody this morning. I would like to introduce a few people that are here today that you may or may not know that can certainly provide further detail in certain issues related to the IGA. But right over here, closest to me, is Sheriff Tony Spurlock from Douglas County, his Undersheriff Holly Nicholson Cluth, and of course, most, if not all of you know, Chief Glenn Thompson of our Public Safety Bureau. So Tony, Sheriff Spurlock wanted me to say that he is just here as a pretty face. It's Undersheriff Cluth that has all the information. So thank you, Sheriff. I'm going to go back a little bit in time here because I think it's good to tell you all of the history just so everybody is on the same page and we're all together here. But back in 2015, Sheriff Spurlock and I had a conversation about our lab and lab services, and ultimately the fact of the matter is that we had no DNA processing ability in the 2 counties or really in this entire judicial district. And I've always said that this has never been an indictment of the Colorado Bureau investigation. The reality is DNA is exploding, and the fact of the matter is they're beyond their capabilities when it comes to DNA. The other thing I will say is that it is certainly not CBI's job to do DNA. They have become a lab that does DNA, and by statute, they are there to assist local law enforcement, but they certainly don't have an obligation to do DNA. They have very important functions. They do operate a lab. They're also, one of their major functions is the Criminal Justice Information Services, as well as they have an investigative body. So they have a lot of dealings out there, but most of their business really is directed at helping smaller agencies, and that's how it has evolved over a long period of time. I also received some very interesting and I think warranted information for the Board of County Commissioners even last week from the Director of the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, Mike Rankin. And just to put DNA in perspective for you, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation has 28 DNA scientists. Each scientist can average a processing of 120 DNA cases per year. And if you do that math, 28 scientists times 120 cases on average per year per scientist, that comes out to 3,336 DNA analysis that they could do annually by the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. In their last fiscal year, they received 4,000 requests for DNA. So there again, even what they're getting now is even over above what their capacity is. The other thing the director said last week to me and to a group of sheriffs that had gathered was the fact that their average time for DNA processing, their average is 200 days. And they're again at 7 months, which in my eyes is absolutely unacceptable for the types of cases that we work with. So Sheriff Spurlock and I ultimately had this conversation and brought Chief Metz from the Aurora Police Department into this fold, as well as our DA. And we had conceptually had an idea of why couldn't we develop some sort of a regional lab, which is done elsewhere, and Jefferson County is a very recent example of that serves the 1st Judicial District. But why couldn't we develop a lab and do things ourselves and have local control? And this judicial district is, as everyone here knows, it's the most populated judicial district in the state of Colorado. Almost 1 million people live in this judicial district. But we planted this seed, and ultimately this got going, and why couldn't we do this? So we have been working with the Douglas County Sheriff's Office and the Aurora Police Department for well over a year, between 1 and 2 years on this concept. And what you have in front of you is an IGA, a proposed IGA. When the team was doing this, and Under Sheriff Kluth this was her deal. I think the sheriff directed her to run with this concept, and she's absolutely done that and done a yeoman's job as it relates to all of this. But we tried to balance out workload and contributions over a 20-year cycle to try to ensure in the best we could absolute fairness to all the different agencies involved in this, and I think we have achieved that. And we've come up with a size that we think is good and relevant, and I'll talk about some changes to that over a period of time. We've identified a piece of land where this could go, and Douglas County is at a point where right now they actually have a signed guaranteed maximum price, a document in place that their board signed in December that would guarantee this lab minimally is 25,500 square feet at a certain cost to Douglas County. So that guaranteed maximum price is in place. A few other recent issues that have come up that I do want to address. This lab also does not have a garage for processing. The board, the working group that looked into this, all the crime lab managers of those 3 entities, Aurora, Arapahoe County, and Douglas County, made the determination that we did not need a garage. And ultimately that's wasted space and wasted money. Aurora has garages where they process evidence now, and they use their crime scene investigators to process those. The Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office has access to our garage, as well as Douglas County. So it was the plan of the group that we didn't need to waste money in a garage for this crime lab, as all the associated agencies already had that in place. Up on the front side of this, I have to applaud Douglas County and the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. They have, if you read the document and read all the attachments, what you'll see is that they come in very heavy on the front end. And then ultimately through their public safety sales tax, Douglas County is willing to put up roughly $16 million to the purchase of land and a 25,500 square foot building. And also within the 5 years come up with